welcome. Welcome to my first day of Vlogmas talking money with you. You can see I'm with my pen, I'm with my sketch pad, and you need yours. And we're starting in about 10 minutes or almost right away. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, I'm super excited. Like, I don't want to shout because it's night. This is 10 p.m. Well, almost 10 p.m. because I'm just a little bit too excited. Like I'm finally doing this. Guys, you don't want to know how long I have planned to do this. And I plan to do it in November. But then November is over. I didn't do it. Yesterday I couldn't get to do it. So it's 30 days with me by 10 p.m. every day. God helping me. Yes, even on Christmas Day. We're going to be talking money. Of course, that's what this channel is about, right? And major focus is, of course, my colleagues in the writing, editorial, publishing business. But of course, even if you're not in our industry, you're going to gain so much. So much. So I would encourage you to get a piece of paper, no matter how small, even if it's as small as this, get one because we're going to do it. Okay, should I let the cat out of the bag? We are going to be doing a literal game. Like we're going to have a game session, and that's why I have my sketch pad here. So please get something you can use to sketch, write. If you have a marker, better. That's not my accent. Okay, so while we are waiting for the time to start, how have your day been? How are you planning for Christmas? Are you okay? How is your health? Literally, how are you doing? Like, I've been so in the mix of work, a lot of work. So a little bit of gist will not hurt, right? Before it's time, so that we don't get ahead of other people. I just thought I could start with you for 10 minutes at least before other people join in, right? So I've been in the midst of a lot of work, deadlines. And in our industry, when I mean industry, those in publishing, writing, first of all, my name is Chisom. Sorry, let me not get ahead of myself. My name is Chisom Motibeaka. This is my YouTube channel, my third YouTube channel. And I've been on YouTube for 7 years now. Yeah, literally for 7 years. And I was 7 years in February, right? But of course, not on this channel, like I said, from my very first channel, we still exist, okay? But I've put a lot of energy here because of what I want to achieve, right? Now, I have also learned on this journey of content creation while we are waiting for 10 p.m. I'm just, trying to familiarize with you and let you know exactly what drives me. On this journey of money is one of the things I have struggled with the most when it comes to my life generally, business, and for obvious reasons, which I'm going to share with you because when we get into the designing of the financial and all that, I may not be able to say, illustrate all of that. Now, like I said, I didn't understand money very early. That's one reason. I mean, up to when I was in my 30s, I didn't understand money at all. Up to when I was my 29th year, I had never sold anything. Yes, literally, I've had never sold anything to anyone. So that will tell you my background. Like, I haven't always been this business focused, this person who is now teaching people, serving people, working with teams, assembling talents, just literally being on my lane, doing what I love. And this exercise that we're going to do for the next 30 days, yes, you heard me right. We're going to be here for the next 30 years. Did I say years? 30 days. And I'm inviting you to join me here at this very hour every night. Well, night in Nigeria, 10 p.m. Nigerian time. So look at your clock and set an alarm. Join me here by this time every day in December till the year rolls over to a new one, because we're going to roll over to a new you. Now, this is me taking you on my own journey to changing my financial life in 2025. Now, like I said, I was somebody who didn't understand money till way into my 29th, 30th year. I mean 29 years that a lot of people like Vicky James have already built empires, have people working for them, have multiple businesses. I had never sold anything till I was 29, 30. So whether it's a late blooming issue or you call me or all that had changed in the last since 2009 till now. In the last 15 years, I have been on a constant journey to reinventing myself. And I have taken it upon myself as well to teach people what I'm learning on on my way. I feel like I'm robbing a lot of people this opportunity, but don't worry, they will always, watch back. 5 minutes, 4 minutes to go before we get into the mind shift, the money mind shift that we need. Okay. And I said I'm with my sketch pad and with my pen, and I'm encouraging you to get yours while we're talking. Let me know your name in the comment section, where you're watching from. I'll be very excited to know. So, I have been on a financial journey, more like a wealth self awareness journey, where I'm trying to understand myself in relation to money. I've been trying to understand myself for the longest time, these 15 years. And at first, I used to envy people who were very um, cultured or who learnt about money early. I remember in 2012, 2013, I was still working a 9 to 5. Of course, if you didn't know, I worked a 9 to 5 despite my business till 2017. So I worked for about 11 years in total before I finally focused on my business in 2007, more like 2008, 2017, sorry, more like 2018. So I had a boss who I worked with at the time who was 8 years younger than I was. And age is not a problem at all for me. But now, listen to this part. For her to have been my boss, you can tell, right, that she had certain skills that absolutely made her the head of that organization at that young age of 24. She was 24 at that time, right? And trust me, I learned so much from interacting with her, of course, working with her closely, getting to also be privileged to meet her family. So I could understand why she has such a big knowledge about money, organizing teams, building projects. I mean, at the age of 24, she had driven SUV cars, luxury cars that she had driven and dropped at that age. I also saw that she could manage big building project construction. She could go to building material market and actually buy materials for building, supervise a team, get the mason working, get the plumber working, get the woodwork done. She has such skill. And all I could do in the years I worked with her was just observe, learn, and it blew my mind every time. Yeah, thank you, Niger. Thank you for liking my hair. It blew my mind because I'm like, how? How did your parents expose you so early? You have such a privilege, right? At 24, she was managing a group of companies, her own personal companies, her family business, which was the company I was working in, and I was so inspired. But all of that brought me to where I am today, where I'm very, very, very determined to break even, to be someone that my wealth threshold will empower other people to become millionaires and billionaires as well, right? Easily. That's my goal. And that's why I started this channel. If you go through the over 100 videos that are currently on this channel, you will see that I literally pour out my heart. Like I share from my experience. I share both the things that benefit the former me when I didn't have money sense at all. I share the things that I'm currently going through my money journey right now. I also share the things that I am projecting to be, the things I'm hoping to do, the things I'm currently doing, I'm practicing, right? I share all of them on this channel. I'm looking at this 1 minute ago. Okay. And that's why we're here. And tonight, it will blow your mind. Because, like I said, we are going to be doing a little game, which is going to help us create our financial future come 2025. If you're someone who is listening to me and you have been wondering how you can change your financial future, just today I saw on Facebook that a Nigerian social media influencer, what I call her that, like, is planning to help women earn their first million. And I was blown away because, yes, that's the energy. And right here, I'm helping everyone, women, men alike, anyone who wants to get on this journey. And we're talking about the wealth mindset shift. The wealth mindset shift. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay. If you're tired of struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, having to not earn until you work and work and work, trust me, I've been through all of that route. I've been through the freelancing route. I've been through the owning a business route. I've been through all of it. But I discovered that wealth does not start with what you do in that sense. It starts with what you think. Yes, wealth starts with what you think, not what you do. Because I use myself as an example because I discovered just a few years ago when I still had struggles like how would I confidently tell people the services I'm offering, for instance. I had a struggle. I had struggled of whether it was okay as a Christian to aspire to make this amount of money that my heart really yearns for. I used to wonder whether my heart was backsliding, whether my heart was just trying to be worldly in that sense. And it beat me that on this in this 15 years gap, all I have done is to be in competition with myself. Have I failed? Oh my gosh, you don't want to know. A lot of times. Have I questioned my brilliance? Like, mm, would anybody value this? A whole lot of times. Have I sat back and I looked at other people succeeding who do not have even up to 10% of information, experience, the hard work, the excellence I bring to a certain thing? Absolutely. And I know you can relate as well. So if you're at the point where you're struggling financially, you have made money, you make money and it goes, you make money and it goes. I want you to know that wealth begins to with what you think. Like I said, I decided to fix my mindset years ago, and I'm still on that journey, right? And this is exactly what I have been through. So I had to go for a fear therapy class at some point in 2017. I've had to do neuro linguistic programming. I've had to do a whole lot to be able to understand myself and my relationship with money, like I told you. Remember, I said this is going to be a practical class. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know in the comments your name, where you're watching from, and we have started right away. I need you to get a piece of paper, even if it's this small, or you have like a whole sketch pad, because we are going to be designing our money journey tonight. Are you even ready? Are you ready? So we are starting off with talking about the role of the mind. That's what this session generally is about. So we are going to bring down the blocks, the money blocks that are blocking us from keeping wealth. And again, let me not run ahead of myself, but there are certain things that I found out that will help anybody who wants to make money. So it's not about I want to make money, but it's about what is the end, right? Now, like I said, I used to struggle a lot with how I think about money, and these are some of the things that helped me. And I discovered that how you think about money is kind of subconscious. It's something you do not even know sometimes where you acquired it from, why they are blocking your success when it comes to money. I remember that there's something called fixed mindsets. I'm going to be writing here, even though I'm going to sketch with this when I'm done. Okay. Now I know that there's something called a fixed mindset. And of course, there's something called the growth mindset. Mindset, right? I used to have a fixed mindset about money many years ago without even knowing. And in case you're like me, how will you know? Let me tell you the things I found out. Number one, I found out at the time that one of my biggest struggle was how I used to think about failure. If one of the things that made me not be able to mark it, like I used to say, was I didn't want to get a no. So one fixed mindset I had was the way I thought about failing or about failure, right? So I feel like if I try to do something I failed, that means I'm not good at it. So, for instance, if I try to write, I bring like a very great author. I'm writing here for my knee. Okay, so I bring like an author like Chimamanda, for instance, and I bring her book and I read it. And of course, as a virtual reader, I've read almost all her books and so many other authors. And then I read it and I'm like, how do they come about this, all of these character twists and turns that makes it, that keep us going and wanting more. Then I try to write a fiction like that and I read it and I feel like, or somebody, exactly, especially if somebody reads it and say, it's not quite tight on this aspect and this aspect. By that time, I'll jettison it. I'm like, okay, I'm not good with writing. Nobody should nobody should call me a writer. Like I am not good with writing. I've accepted my fate. That is be the kind of mindset I used to have. Like I couldn't do this the first time I tried, so I'm not cut out for it. Now I had to switch from that kind of mindset to saying it's not because I'm not good at this, but it's because me failing this once means that I can still learn. I still have a chance to learn this thing. So there are two different things. I failed and I feel, oh my gosh, I didn't even know why I tried in the first place. Oh my gosh, I feel so ashamed of myself. Like I'm not good at this. I'm not ever going to try writing. If it was writing I did. Then when I started growing, my growth mindset became, okay, I failed, but that was a great opportunity, a one-time opportunity to actually learn how to write better. And that changed everything. Now, let me also tell you that that might be one of the ways you are sabotaging yourself, your money and your wealth mindset. Now, the second thing that I found out that used to hold me back when it comes to money was how I used to think about my talent and my skills. Like, you know how, especially when I was in university, I used to enjoy a lot of people who could dance, like break dance, all of those performances. And I used to watch, like, oh my gosh, how will I ever learn how to dance? Then the major obstacle was with the kind of church my parents used to attend and we grew up in, they wouldn't even want to hear that I want to dance. So already I just feel, mm, well, is these people are naturally good at this, so let me try and write it down for myself. Like the way I viewed my talent and skill was like, if I see somebody doing something good, I'm like, okay, they are very good at this. I'm not. They are very good at this dance thing, and I'm not. So I'm not ever going to try. Very, very, very counterproductive, if you ask me. But when I began to change, see, this mindset shift thing is not something that's going to happen overnight. See, let me bust your bubble. It's not going to happen 1 year, 2 years. See, I feel going back. It's like somebody who has been addicted. The person doesn't just come out of the addiction one day and just say, oh, I quit this, I quit that. Sometimes you're going back for it. You're blaming yourself coming back. That's how it has been for me. This growth mindset building thing. And see, this is where your money is in the way you think about wealth. I told you when I thought about failure, how I handled it as a finality, like I failed and I'm done. And how I thought about my skills and my talent. Like if I see that these people are good, I'm like, okay, I can't do it. They are born with that ability. I better go find for myself what I'm good at. I'm not good at this at all. But when I began to grow, my mindset shifted from I'm not talented at this, I'm not gifted at this, to saying, if I practice and if I put an effort, yeah, I can become a great writer, right? So if I put an effort, if I write every day, if I write all that rubbish that I have been writing every day, if I do this persuasion thing every day, I'll get better. As against canceling myself and saying, no, they are born with this skill, I'm not. So that was one big journey for me. And like I said, I'm still on that journey. And if you're listening to me and you have you see any yourself in any of these examples, please watch to the end, pay attention, take notes like I'm doing. And like I said, we are going to do an exercise like a game. We're going to gamify our financial planning. And I need you to get a sketch pad or a paper, anything that you have. Of course, I didn't give you heads up. So anything you have that can help you sketch, have a pen, get it. Okay. Now, so I move from I'm not talented with this to if I practice, if I put effort, the number of hours you're using to learn how to dance this dance, if I put an effort, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to learn these steps. Number three thing I discovered, like I used to think like, okay, um, when I face challenges, I think that was another one. Whenever I faced like challenges and it feels like I'm sorry, my internet. Please, just a few seconds. Let me. Ma, 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 ma. Please hold on. Just hold on, please. Just so. Thank you so much for waiting. I'm super excited that you're still here. Okay. So I was talking about challenges, how I used to look at challenges also at that time. So if I'm trying to work on a project and I'm planning, and I'm telling everybody to support me, I'm planning that okay, we're going to have this number of people, it's going to hold in this hall. Assuming it's an event, for instance, I used to be a very spontaneous event organizer now, back in the years. So if I feel a project is not coming out the way it's supposed to be, I'm like, this project is too hard. I'm not sure I can figure it out. I'm not sure I can get the funding I need. How do I even get sponsors? You know, oh my gosh. So I just give up. So this is me struggling with or having challenges with projects. When I had a fixed mindset, it was like, okay, this is too hard. I can't continue. And I have a lot of projects that they don't push through because of that mindset. I still remember just a few days ago, I saw my very first company letterhead and I was like, God, I was planning. Hi, Uchenna. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dalo. Obi the motor, like, you guys, thank you. Okay, so I was just like, if this thing cannot work, why am I blaming myself? Why am I pushing? But when I grew my mindset, so I'm giving you examples of things I went through. When I grew my mindset, I can look at the project and even right now, oh my God, some people around me used to be very, how do I call it, like amazed. Like, how do you start up a project without even, you don't have the money yet, you don't have it figured out. I say, I'm testing the idea. Immediately somebody shows interest in this thing I have already packaged. Then I get to work. So how did I move from this person who will easily get discouraged? In fact, did I even tell you, if I was doing a project and 1,000 people are supporting me, oh my gosh, you're going to work and all that, then one person just comes to say, what? Nobody, is looking for this thing today. Nobody's going to listen to you. How much? Who are you that people are going to listen? Only that one person's opinion will scatter everything. I'll be struggling to find my motivation. I cannot find it. But when I grew my mindset and allow it no longer to be fixed and I move it to growth mindset, all I have to do is to say, well, this project is tough, but there's always a way around it. And every solution is with somebody. There's somebody that we need to fix the whole part. There's somebody we need to talk to that we can get a free haul. There's somebody we need to talk to. I remember my very first conference, men's conference in 2016 in Abuja. When I told my friend I'm going to do a conference for men, they were like, you and this your men thing you've been all about lately. How? Have you ever seen a project where only men came? And why would they listen to you as a woman? I said, well, they're going to listen to me and listen to other people, men, women, who are going to come to share. See, that conference went very beautifully, sold out. We got sponsors. I still remember people sponsored up to small shops like the refreshments, the drinks, the hall, everything for free. Most of the speakers at that time, I didn't have money to do that scale of event. Most of the speakers who came, one of them even flew in from Lagos. I remember he paid his way. Even though I won't do that kind of thing right now. Okay. It's good to give people honor. But I think he had another project that coincided with that time. So he felt like, okay, let him do me the honors or us the honors. So I grew to a point where I'm like, this project is tough, but we'll find a way around it. So my fixed mindset before would have pulled away, ended up the project on paper. But my growth mindset would say, oh no, I just need people. That's all I need. I just need somebody who needs somebody. If I need a hall, I now have somebody who has a hall. I can find somebody who owns a hall. Right? Now, let me give you another aspect that I struggle with a lot was what I used to believe about money. I remember when I was talking about that dance, I told you that the cultural, no, not cultural, the religious background I grew up in kind of shaped the way I thought about money. Have you been in situations where you think that money is is evil? Really, you really think that people who have money is because they don't have God. They're spending all their time pursuing the things of the world. That was a background I grew up with. So my belief, let me even write it. My belief about wealth in general was the wealthy them and us here. That could be that is keeping you. When I grew my mindset from that whole uh, I stopped thinking about, well, I wasn't born into money. I'm not even wealthy. My father lost his job when I was 9 and we started struggling. And now we are focusing on holiness. Who is thinking about being that rich? Just let us have enough to get by. I moved my mindset very fast. See, this thing I'm telling you didn't come easy. I remember on this particular note, I was so unhappy with the what I call the general overseer of the church I grew up in because I felt like he propounded a mindset that nearly damaged me. That kind of thing. I mean, as a growing adult, I was just very angry with him. I was just like, this is deceit, this and all that, because as the years went by, he became somebody very prominent. He was always all about himself. He's the only one that could write books. People I knew around me who were also pastored under him couldn't write books, couldn't publicize themselves, couldn't be on TV, couldn't do all of those things. But I saw him doing all of those things. So he affected the way I even saw Christianity, right? So that mindset I had about, oh, I wasn't born into wealth. So, I mean, we'll get by. I dropped it like it's hot. And I began to think like wealth is something I can grow to learn how to build. Because see, moving from this part to this part is very hard. I've told you that I've been on this journey for 15 years. And that's why I have this channel where I'm talking money. Remember what I started from? I said, I'm 44 now. I started learning about money. I sold the first time ever when I was 29. And even that setting, it was not like I said, this is how much you should pay me. The person was not like, you're very good at this. So if you've done the work. So how much do you want to charge? And I could not alter my fee, even though I had planned it, written it. It was even on my blog at that time. She only paid me what she felt, okay, we can have this. And looking back, that was a slap on the face. But was I mad? No, not at all. I mean, I've never sold anything before. So for somebody to pay me for an effort, I was over the moon. So moving from that mindset of I'm not into money and all that to where I know that I can build wealth. I can change my family's history. I can change my family's destiny. To where I'm training children now who I'm like, you can't live you can't leave poverty or lack for your generation after all that we are teaching you right now. Yeah. So it took mindset, it took me changing my mindset. Now, another thing I used to also think about at that time was, how another thing that held me back that was a fixed mindset was how I used to view criticism. I think I mentioned it a bit because if you just tell me that this thing is not good or this thing you're doing, how many people want to? Even if I had 1,000 people cheering me on, just that one voice will make me cancel it. But now, because okay, at that time I used to feel like I'm not good enough, I shouldn't be trying, I'm trying to imposter syndrome was worrying me. Yeah. And I always had instances that time when I used to feel like it will not be long, I'll see somebody's project on social media, on TV, and I'm like, this is exactly the kind of thing I would have done or I plan to do sometime. But this person, the way I understood it or the way I know it, then I'll start feeling guilty, like I should have tried, or nobody wants to help me. Oh my God. But now when I think about it, I'm like, if you criticize me and tell me, oh, your work is not very good, I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. That means I found another way to do this thing even better. I'm going to keep improving myself. Yeah, if I need to refund you your money because you're not satisfied, I will do that gladly. Gladly. That's why when people say, oh, you're very good at this, we're very good at this, you've been in this industry for 15 years, you're doing so well. I'm like, well, I think that my biggest power is learning. And that's why I'm doing this session. Like I said, I'm going to be here teaching and sharing what I'm going through financially, what I'm learning, what I'm doing for 30 days. So I'm inviting you to join me every time, 10 p.m. every day till the end of December. We are going to roll into a new year with a new mindset, a new plan, our template of exactly what we're going to do in 2025 as far as our money is concerned. Okay, now let's shift a bit into um, some of the things that helps us that prevents us from making money, which I call limiting beliefs. The things that limit your ability to make money. So these things have affected your mind, that no matter what happens, even when you see opportunity, sometimes you might think it's scam. I'm not saying that most of the things people are throwing around is not scam. I'm just saying that sometimes it makes you not to be able to know which one is authentic. It makes you be able to shortchange yourself like, I can't do this. I'm suspicious of this, or it's too good to be true. And then you keep being in the cycle of management forever, right? But you're not going to be there forever because, oh my gosh, I'm here, right? Now, one of the things I went through, I found out about that were limiting my beliefs about money is that I used to think that money is the root of all evil. I used to think that money was the root of all evil. In fact, it was I'm not sure it's been how many years I found out that Bible said money answered all things. Guys, Bible actually said that. Ah, I was like, geez, why? Why were you just telling me about the root of the love of money is the root of all evil? So I kept thinking the root of money is the root of all evil. Thinking that if I want then if I'm looking for if I'm desiring a lot of money, then something evil is in me or I'm being selfish, I'm being worldly. I need to get back to the cross. I need to get born again again. It's a limiting belief. If you're thinking that way, you need to do like this. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Number two, let me tell you why you should drop it. Every person around you needs help. Look around you from where you are right now to the home where you are from the family, from the society around you, from the street you live on. The building you're in now has some issues, maybe plumbing issues, something that money can fix. And you can only use the money here on earth. You can't take it to heaven. So even if you want to serve God, you need money. You need money to buy Bibles for people. You need money to go out there, enter transport to go somewhere to preach to someone. You need money. Number two, limiting belief. I used to assume that I wasn't good with money. Let me even tell you, sometime in 2009, when I started wanting, I was agitating, I needed a job, I had moved to a new city, I was restless, I was just like, I need to get something doing. I Somebody offered me two boxes of clothes, like high-end luxury women wears, okay, all sort of dresses, dinner dresses, all sort of dresses. And I told the man, I'm gonna sell them. The man told me the cost, what he bought them. He just brought them from the US. I was excited, like this is my very first time somebody is trusting me with goods to sell that I will also make some profit for myself because that was a way of helping me. Guys, I took these things for over 9 months. At that time, I was even homeless because I was squatting with people. So I was moving around these things. If I tell you I'm selling them, those were the days of. Did you even have BlackBerry at that time? I'm not even sure, but anyway, people will ask me for them. I take it to them. People were owing me. Oh, I love this blouse. I love this. This. They will take it. I'll write their name and say, okay, you're owing me. As I'm talking to you, almost 15 years down the line, some people are still owing me. that made me to think that I wasn't good with money. In fact, I went for years saying, I'm not good with money. I don't know how to do business. Business is not my thing. Remember, I told you at the beginning that I didn't grow up from a family of transaction business that taught me intelligence, that taught me financial intelligence. I had never sold until that point. So I felt this is not for me. I even started thinking that, oh, now that might be the reason why my parents never supported me to go on the entrepreneurship route. That might be the reason I don't have a lot of people in my family doing business. Maybe we're not just cut out for business. I went with this narrative for years. I'm not even joking. Between 2009, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I was still thinking that way. Even after I started business, which is, of course, another story altogether, how I finally started business was. I was just, and I started saying at that point that okay, I wasn't good with product business because I felt like I sold physical things. I sold diapers as well. That same man gave me diapers, um, this non-disposable diapers, so you could wash them and all that. So I just said to myself that since I couldn't even sell this thing and get people, I just discovered that I was not the kind of person that liked to follow up people. Oh, pay me, pay me, pay me. I don't like being in people's faces, right? And I just felt, no, I'm not good with money. I'm not good with managing. After a point, I started saying, I can only sell services. In fact, that was what drove me to digital entrepreneurship. That was what drove me to beginning to do business online. Yeah. And I said, okay, this is something I think I can do. I don't think I'm made for physical business. So you see how these things can shape and prevent us from making income. But today, I'm selling products, I'm selling services, I'm selling my knowledge, right? Now, number three thing that used to be a limiting mindset for me was I thought rich people are greedy. All these politicians, all these rich people, they are greedy. They must have made their money in a weird way. But you know the funny thing? I always had this desire, like, if I get closer to them, I'll find out how they made their money. But I just couldn't come to the point where I'm like, wealth is good. So when you view wealth as something negative, there's no way. You have already created a resistance, of making money and a lot of money at that. I also used to think that I'll never be able to make enough money to be comfortable, like the uber rich people I used to say, the uber wealthy people. I used to because I'm a very voracious reader, I used to travel a lot in books and imaginations, and I used to say, if only these things were possible in real life. But baby, they are real. They can be your experience too. Another limiting belief used to be that I needed to work very hard. I need to work very hard to make a lot of money. And when I was working 9 to 5 jobs, I worked very hard. I worked for people. I went beyond my call of duty. But I was still earning that same salary that was agreed. At best, people wanted to have intimacy with you and then promise you they can top up something, like I mean the owners of companies or CEOs. And I remember leaving a couple of jobs because of those kind of advances because I couldn't understand why. So my hard work is not really what is needed or what. It's just confusing for somebody growing up. So that was another limiting belief. Like I have to work extremely hard to make a lot of money, and that means you're equating wealth to um you're equating wealth to what they call it, with working too much, with not even finding time to for leisure and all that. Let me tell you what happened to me in 2015. By that time, I was working 3 jobs. I was a blogger and a influencer. I was a of course, I was a book editor as well, and then I had my 9 to 5. I woke up one day in 2015 and I couldn't feel my right body. I was paralyzed. And I remember the first doctor we met, because I went to about 3, 4 hospitals, diagnosis, consultations, gory story. You don't want to hear that. One of the doctors told me, you are not quite giving yourself balance. Like you work, everything you've told me about your work is you sitting down sedentary, and you're not clubbing, you're not dancing, you're not going out, you're not partying afterwards, nothing in between for leisure. And it struck me that um, I have used my useful life to think that if I needed to establish myself, I needed to overwork, right? So thinking that is about overworking, working hard before you make wealth is the wrong way to think. That's a deal with it. Again, you're thinking that you're not smart enough. You need another degree. If you had the privilege of going to Harvard, if maybe somebody sponsored you when you were all of those things, or if you had another degree, or if you actually went to school, maybe you would have had a better leverage. Throw that thing out of the window. All the people you know who are making a lot of money, do you know their educational background? Is anybody even interested? We are all interested in the value that they bring. Yes, we are all interested in the value that they bring. So thinking that you're not smart enough and associating your finance and wealth to high intelligence. I'm sure you know people who were in your class or who you know who were like A graders, they come first, who never today. They're just maybe people that didn't go to any university. I worked for a boss back in the days who didn't till now. I mean, he's way into his 50s now. He did not go to any university. Today he has an honorary doctorate degree, so he's being called doctor. I said this guy did not go beyond the standard six. If you're in Nigeria, our fathers used to say standard six. He didn't go beyond standard six. He had a company that I worked in. He has investments. And today he's been honored. He has the highest, the PhD is like the biggest honor academically. He's been given it that, on an honorary position because of the impact he's making in society, right? So thinking that intelligence is, don't think about that. Also, sometimes you might be thinking you don't deserve to be wealthy, whether people are not, you're not in that class. I may be saying this thing that you may be saying, God forbid, that's not how I think. But see, it's subconscious. It's holding you back. That's why sometimes people say, oh, let's go to this thing. Oh, they mention their amount in millions. Immediately, something in you disconnect, like, it's not for me. They can be talking their own thing. In fact, you disconnect from the discussion because something in you has made you believe that you don't deserve this level of wealth. It's not your thing. Sorry, my pen has fallen off. Who told you it's not your thing? So whose thing is it? Who did God make and say you are the one to get all the wealth? You, nothing for you. No, don't look down on God like that. Feeling unworthy, feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't have like that kind of abundance of finance. I used to be like that. So guys, I had a couple of other things that plagued me, but we're going to get into the practical aspect of this session right away. I have my sketch pad here ready. I remember also someone thought that they used to say, oh, money does not grow on trees. You think that money is on the street, you just go out and pick it up. You heard some of those things, Abby. Those things made us to have limiting beliefs about money. So this is I need you to get a clean sheet like this, and let's do this exercise together. We're going to be planning our finances for 2015. I keep saying 2015, for 2025 onwards on this sheet. And I'm going to tell you step by step how it's going to be. Another mindset I used to remember was this scary mindset of, if I have a lot of money, people will not like me. Like, I'm going to attract a lot of enemies. Just imagine driving that SUV, that luxury car, and driving into a neighborhood you have grown with, but everybody is managing with their, Nigerian used cars or none at all. That won't you make enemies for yourself? Even thieves, like burglars, like thieves, might be targeting your house. I thought of all kind of things, and I said, if I come and share it tonight, you might actually identify yourself in one of the things I'm saying. Also, I used to also think that, oh, I can't invest now. My money is too small. The money I'm earning is too small. It's not even enough for me to buy groceries and take care of myself. So what am I saving? It's very, very crazy, So let's get into what I call the treasure hunt. Let's do a treasure hunt. This is my sheet. Get a sheet like this. Now, on this sheet, you're going to draw two equal lines. So let me use, yeah, two equal lines this way. Are you doing the same? So I'm using a red pen. See my two equal lines. Can you see them? I think I need to make them bolder so you can see what I'm doing. Get a clean sheet and join this party. This is like a vision board, but a more practical one. You don't need all that. You don't need a lot of tools to get to do it. Like, you don't need all of those scissors and stuff. So I'm going to show you. So you draw two different lines in the middle like this. So so like I said, this is Treasure Island. Call this a treasure island. See my treasure island, right? Now so when you put the two lines in between, here one part is going to be like your starting point, like your starting point. The other part is going to be like your destination. You know how when you're doing like a treasure hunt or something, you have to start from a particular place and keep finding until you get, maybe what you're looking for might be somewhere extreme, somewhere in the corner. So look at this like that. Oh, putting this upside down. So look at this like that. So this is a clean sheet for now. Get yours ready like this. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know in the comments that you have done yours. A clean sheet of paper, draw two lines, write your treasure island, and I'm going to tell you the next thing to do, right? This is a fun way to plan your income for 2025 and ongoing, right? Now, we are going to now look at this treasure map. Yes. First of all, let me ask you something first. Where do you see yourself, or how much do you see yourself making in the next 1 year? So let's say by the end of 2024, yeah, where do you see your income after expenses and all that? Like, how much will you be worth by this time next year? So I sat down and wrote mine, starting with how much I want to be making every month. Okay, great. Oluvakemi. I have somebody following. I'm excited. Thank you, Oluvakemi. Okay, great. So where do you want to be financially in the next 1 year? So you might write it down, you must just put it on your mind. How much do you want to be worth in the next 1 year? Then how much do you want to be worth in the next 2 years and in the next 5 years? So you're going to give those three projections in your mind and then maybe write it down. Then we'll go to the next. Do you have that figure in your mind right now? Okay, now, so just imagine yourself that this is a field, right? And you are going to be trying to find your income goal. So your income goal is your treasure. What do you call it? Is your treasure that you're looking for, right? Done. I love this. Like, you don't know how much this gave me so much edit, but I'm like, am I talking to myself? But of course, we don't care on this street. We keep doing what we're doing. Thank you for everyone listening and everybody going to watch after. So if you're at this point, let me know. If you're joining Oluwakemi, let's know. Now, so just imagine that you're searching for a treasure now. How much do you want to find? How much do you want to find? That is that money I asked you to think of in your mind. Think of how much you want to find, right? Then write it. Write it. See, write it on this part. Now, okay, I said that here is your starting point. This side of the paper is your starting point. So we start here. So I start here and I end here. So I end here, I start here, right? Now, this where you're going to end is where you're going to write your income goal, right? Remember, that's what you're gunning for. That's what you're planning to achieve in 2025. That's what your mind is yearning for. That's what you're also going to tie your services and your products around, selling and making. So we're going to take it step by step. So do this. So let me write mine down. By December 31st, 2025, I want to be worth, let me put it down. Mine is not even ambitious. So after every expenses, I want to be worth $100. So that is yes, that's 100,000. Sorry, that's $100. $100,000. I don't even know why I'm talking in dollars. Like there's something that YouTube does to somebody. You start thinking like, okay, I want to carry my audience along. Then sometimes you get to see your currency. So let me say that's about 200 million. They're about 200 million naira. Naira. So that's about 200 million naira. And this money, trust me, for me, is very conservative because I currently even have a project that even all this money entering it will not deliver it. But this is me being conservative, okay? So write your own at your end point. That's the treasure that you're going to seek. All right. Now, now that you divided your sheet and have written your goal, um, write, you know how in a treasure island you are going to have trees, storms, roads, buildings, something on your track to get into your end, right? So imagine that there are, maybe trees here, storms here, things here, because you're going to be searching under all of these things. You know how they do it, like on TV. You're going to be searching all of this and be trying to get here. Sometimes, if you're not careful, you remain here, searching all of these places and turning around. Yeah, but you need to project. Let me show you what I'm doing. So remember, from the starting point, you have things like trees, houses, shrubs, that I'm going to tell you what those things are. So just bear with me and come with me, okay? Now, call them milestones. So if you start from here, if this is your starting point, right? You start from here. From here to this tree or this milestone is something, right? From this milestone to this other milestone is something. Those things that are looking like trees and all that, there may be a shrub here or a house here. That's another milestone. From here to here is another milestone. Just that same way. Okay. I hope you can see. Okay. Now, so draw it like that. So draw those milestones. Just put up some structures like that. I'll tell you how to label them. So also do the structures on this other side as well. Remember, you just have things that are similar that you're going to be doing, that you're going to be searching your treasure, that you're going to be searching whether your treasure are in them. The idea is that all these things are products, services, things you're going to be using to try to get to this money goal, right? So draw them up. Let me put some stars, any shape, just feel free. Feel free. We need some pictures for this exercise, but it's okay if you don't have it because this is a live stream, so you can always complete it after here. The main thing is to get the principle of this treasure mapping. Okay, so just draw the objects and milestones of things. It can even be people. Sometimes it can be people, like this is a person. Remember, your end goal is here, which is the longest distance from start to the end. Now, and these your milestones are like checkpoints, right? So now in each of them, write on those milestones, write the months of the year. So for instance, here I write January, here I write February. They're your milestones, but they're also your checkpoints. Yeah. So all those things you drew. So right now, make them maybe 12, right? You get my drift. Make them like 12. So March. Why they must not be serial is that sometimes you know how life is. You can move, and you're not quite getting here. You might come back here in March, and it's fine. Just write it anyhow. Just make sure you have all the months of the year signaling your milestones. Okay. Now let's go. So you write them March. This is April. This is May. This is June, July, August. Okay, let me draw September. September, the shrub here, October, November, December. Yeah. October. Okay. Do you have the yours now? You have things drawn, trees, houses, any milestone, the places you'll be looking for your treasure within the months. And of course, you know that these months have weeks and all that, but we're not going to break them down. You can break them down after now, later. Okay. Now, so in January now, first of all, think what is that one product? But we're going to look at creating that one hot product. I think by tomorrow I will take you through that in depth. But right now, looking at the things you do, right? Look at the things you do and think. Just think of one of your products, one thing that you do that you're going to be a specialist of in 2025. Think of just that one thing. See, I found out that this has been one of my biggest struggles ever. Hey, God. When you're a multi potentialist, is that how they say it? Multi talented person. So I can write, I can edit books. Oh my God, teaching is like my zone. I am a digital person. I can do designs. I can edit videos, as you can see in my channel. Like nobody has ever edited anything for me on my channel. And this is my third channel. Third, I started on YouTube 7 years ago. All of that, I had help in my first channel when I started. I had a producer and all that. But after that, second channel, no help, just me. Third channel, just me. Fourth channel, fifth channel. Anyway, but you know my drift. So I have a lot of skills. I have a whole lot of skills. I have research skills. I have, oh my gosh, you don't want to know. I am a very good singer. It can be hard sometimes to say, okay, so which one should I focus on? See, I have been on this journey for years, guys, just like you. Like, how do I define myself? In fact, if you pay attention, if you follow me, you will notice that my bio is almost always changing because sometimes I'm positioning for writers, sometimes I'm positioning for authors. People want to author their books. Sometimes I'm positioning for my company. Sometimes I'm positioning for my personal brand. It can get confusing, like schizophrenic. But anyway, don't let us go that path. So choose one thing. If I were you, I would choose my highest income product off the top of your head. Think of that product or service that brings you the most income. Even if you sell one or two or three, it brings you more income than all the others. So I would take ghostwriting for busy professionals, right? I would choose that for myself. Then let's do this. Remember, you're going to be moving on the path January, February, March, April, on your journey. Sorry, January, February, March, April, on your journey to your destination, right? Now, write what that product is. So for me, I write ghostwriting. So that means ghostwriting is the product or the service I want to use to achieve my 200 million naira in profits by the end of 2025. So what's yours? Let me know in the comments. What's your one product, high offer product that you know that if you give it your all, brand yourself in that one thing, forget that you know how to do other things, or rather, you make sure other things you know how to do help you to achieve this one. Write it. Write it. Look at it again with your money goal, that product and that money goal, right? Now, the next thing is sit down and look at that money goal again. Split it into in your head. Don't write it down. Split it into those 12 months. Meaning there are no months off. There are no months that you're just those tired, blaming yourself. In January, I'm fasting, I'm not going to be marketing a lot. There's no month like that. Or you choose, maybe you want some months off business. Maybe you're like bourgeois. Bourgeois do that. Maybe you can take a month or two off, then come back to your marketing. Whatever your strategy is, look at the number of months that you want to be actively in business and look at that money goal. So if yours comes to 8 months, that your first 2 months you just spend it with the Lord, or you go on a boat cruise. I mean, you're in the spending season of your life. You're not actually actively making money, or you're actively making money, but you're not quite there. So you're earning income from your company, people working for you in that sense. That's fine. Okay. Now, when we look at that goal and that money, now write, for instance, how many, like I said, if yours is like me, 12 months I'm on duty, right? So 12 divided by 200 million. 12 divided by 200 million. So do that maths. If you're going to be working all through, I'm doing longhand. You need to see what I'm doing. 250. The letter that I never passed maths, but I'm very good with financial calculation. Don't worry. so this cancel this one, this cancel that, six is so let's say about six. How much is yours? Nobody's even responding to me. How much is yours? When you divide the number of months you want to be actively selling, marketing, onboarding clients, how much did yours come to? The number of months by your divide the number of months, divide your total income for the month for the year by, yeah, the number of months. Okay. Now now what will you be doing in January to meet your part of the bargain, the part of the income that you've set out? So let me say for my January, I need to make, in my breakdown, to get 200 sorry, let me write the exact amount. 200 million divided by 12. So let me say about 17 million. So let me say 17 million, that's what it is. I wanted to be sure all the six zeros. Okay, the six are continuous. So 17 million in a month, in January, for instance, if I'm going to make equal money for each of the month, right? So 17 million, put on those your timelines, 17 million. Don't worry about, how some month may not be like other months, yes, but we will get there where we're going to see how to carry them over and how to still achieve them. Okay, I need you to write this. See, this exercise you're doing is giving your mind, you're resetting your mind into achieving this because you're putting it in picture. Don't mind how it's looking or how scattered it can be. Remember, you can always redraw it, you can always get it back. But please do this exercise. Okay, so put 17 million per month. Is that forming an image in your head already? So you need to make 17 million every month in profit to be able to meet your 200, that's me, my 200 million naira in profit goal by December. Now, what will you be doing in January with that ghostwriting product, which is mine, yours? What will you be doing? How will you be able to, or rather, how will you be able to market and sell your product or your service that you have written down in January to make 17 million? That's what we're going to get into now. Okay. So for me to make 17 million from my ghostwriting, currently, one ghost ghostwriting client averagely give me about 2.2 million naira. So it means I will need about eight, yeah, about eight clients in January. You do get my drift. I will need eight clients consistently every month to hit that income stream in profit. And remember, I'm saying in profit because 2.2 million naira is the money that is not even my profit. So it has to be more. But this is the base income I know that I can make, right? All things being equal. Now, remember, I'm not okay. I call it my ghostwriting service. It's really not ghostwriting. I'm being very realistic. It's really not ghostwriting. This money is for ghostwriting publishing as well, not for printing the book, not for any other form of marketing or anything, just to get the manuscript ready, designed, published, right? So 2.2 million naira in a month in January or per client, I need eight of them to make 17 million for that month, to say that okay, I've gotten my monthly um goal, right? Now, while that is going on, I need 70 million every month from just rendering my service. The second aspect, when you come to February or maybe March, depending, so it means that you're going to start marketing like from today in December, start marketing for your client, which is something I've already started doing. I started in September to market our 360-degree publishing. And I gave you like a time frame so that I can get more people in before next year. So we decided to launch a campaign that said if you want to be an author with us in 2025, you need to book and start your and get your book deal in before 31st of December, so that we know the number of clients we're writing and publishing for by 2025, right? So that is already giving me an idea of how my January, February, March or so is going to be, or how much income. And if I don't get the number of people I have set up, I have a goal for my organization and then for me, but I'm trying to work with myself, right? Now, I have an income goal for this. So if this doesn't meet the income goal for January, February, March, it means that by I have to launch something else in March, for instance. So let me say that the income that I'm from the services I'm rendering from now will only cover maybe 34 million. So that means January, February is covered. I need to deliver on those jobs and deliver. And it means I need to start marketing for the product I'm going to launch in March, because I don't have any income already, any products, selling to fulfill my March income goal. Do you understand what I mean? So I can now say, okay, since it is a product, a book I'm delivering in March, I can launch now where I'm going to charge, busy professionals if I get if I get them to sit in to walk them through writing their books, getting published, all of that. Now, it can also be me writing a very valuable ebook that is templated in a way that if you're filling in the templates, you are actually writing your book, which can serve people who may not want us to do it for them, but who want us to do it with them, right? So that product it could be a template, a book publishing template. So let me say I price that at maybe I price that at 250,000, which is a little fraction from the 2.5 million or 2.2 million naira if my company is going to handle the writing. So I say, okay, 250,000 naira for my book publishing template. And it has other bonuses, like I will come in to walk you through it. When you're done writing it, we also edit it for you, because we also have plethora of editors, right? We edit it for you on after you're done, and then we publish for you, which is cost you will now pick up as you go. So this is for people who want to try to write their books themselves. They don't want to outsource it. So now that's how I market that template. And the 250,000. How much? Then I ask myself, how many people do I need to sign up for this or to buy this my template to make 17 million? You get, for March, to be able to meet my income goal. I'll start marketing for this product, say by first week of February, I start marketing for my book publishing template. Are you following? My book publishing template with 250,000 naira. And then in my calculation, I will need to onboard, let me calculate. So I will need to onboard, so let me say 17 million naira divided by 250,000 naira. So I need to onboard 68 people. 68 people to make 17 million. Remember, so that I get my entire money go in. So I look at getting at least 68 people to buy that template. Now, it means that my marketing has to be targeted. My marketing has to be talking to the people who need this service desperately. And the money to buy it is not a problem, right? Remember, this is not just a template. The template, there's a coaching, there's an editing service attached, and all of that, So you must be able to sell it in a way that they will say, oh my God, this is exactly what I need, right? So I'm assuming I keep marketing this into March, April, March, and I don't hit this goal, or I overhit this goal. either way. So if I overhit this goal and get maybe 90 people in, can you see my income is already flowing into my income's expectations for the next month, which is April, May, right? Just like that. So you have to, you know what your business is, right? I don't want to assume that everybody on this stream is writing and editing and publishing like I'm doing, okay? Because I mean, we are all creatives, right? We all add value in what we know how to do. So that your own is to look at your product and begin to say that same one product, how do you split it to make sure you get your income goal of my own is 70 million? What's yours, right? Now, um then you're looking at, okay, how long are you going to market this thing and keep bringing in people? So you now have this done for you service where people are, you're doing holistically, you're still marketing that, you're still serving that, but now you have also launched a template and a coaching service to help other people, another category of people who need help doing it step by step. Then you ask yourself at one point, and you see, nothing says you must start this one in May. I'm just giving an example in March. I'm just giving an example. You can decide that it's mid-year that you want to introduce the templates and coaching, right? So that it give you, I always advise that you should give yourself enough time to market every one of your products, right? Um, and of course, you know that with paid ads, your campaigns can go out at the same time. You can be making money from here, making money from there. So I'm not also short. I'm not ignoring that. So go ahead, and do what fits your schedule. Now you look at it and say, okay, so I need um, for here, I need 8 clients from January to hit my income goal that can be our publishers, have our imprint. From my March launch of template, I need 68 clients. Can you see? So that way you have this thing written, you have it stabilized, you have it, so you are not making a mistake, you're not guessing, you're not wondering, you have it drawn in a way that you can look at it and be activated and be focused, because is okay to be to is what English am I looking for? Getting distracted is a thing, and trust me, people like us who are idea people, what does it take to distract you again? You got it, another good idea, because you come up with another good idea. You come with another good idea and you're like, but this is also a good idea. Then you forget that you had a plan at the end of the last year coming into this new year. Please don't do that to yourself. See, there's so much power in focus. It took me 15 years to learn. It took me to hit 40, 44 to learn it. I was one of those people who was all over the place. All over the place. So now you have your one product, you have exactly how much your income goes, if broken down into months, will fetch you. You know how many months you want to be actively in business, I mean participating. You know the product you want to launch begin this year that we're talking. Within these 30 days, we're going to be doing this live stream every day till the year rolls out. You know the business you're going to activate by morning. The idea is we learn in the night, we execute in the morning. Ah, now let's say that at the end of so let me say that maybe by maybe final quarter, let's say somewhere you keep marketing these two, this is bringing in money. You need 8 every month, you need 68 every month, or yeah, every month to do this. You keep marketing them, then you get to towards the end of the year, maybe somewhere in October or November, right? You decide to bring in these clients you have already served from beginning of the year into another product, maybe a retreat, maybe a boot camp, maybe something, something that will suit their lifestyle. You figure it out around the same thing that you do. You know, think you can think about something. I mean, we will talk about this in there, like I said. Now you now ask yourself, should I launch a project that maybe takes clients from just not their books but marketing it? So you have another group of people who you're going to go all out for, doing book tours for, getting them to mention in movies, getting them to go on radio, TV, to go to different countries to for book reviews, getting them to make skits of their book. The ideas are limitless. You begin to also sell that from these people you already have as clients. See, the job is not to get people to buy your service or your product. The job is to get people committed to your company in a way that almost everything you sell, they buy. Right? Now, when you all have all that, launching your course, your products from now, getting them from January to March, selling this number, the number you need to sell from January to March to get this income, all the number of people you need to reach out. And until your marketing hits and get those people in, you're not relenting. Your marketing can't just be like, oh, I need 68 clients for this month. And your marketing, doing paid ads, using influencers, using your organic reach, using one-on-one, using your church, using billboard, and you're getting 30 people and you're relaxing and say, maybe, no. And of course, when we're going to deal with the product, how to know the product that will sell, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how you can create products that is irresistible, product that people who need it will be like, oh my God, where have you been? Literally in their mind. Okay, so we're going to get there. So don't miss any of these night sessions. 10 p.m. every night, I'm here. Now, by then another thing you have to do is those monies you've written for each of those months, design them like coins. This is the part where we are supposed to have like actual coins, or design them and paste, so you know that this is the amount. Okay, checks also can work. You can write yourself a check of that amount you need to make every month, then paste them in those months. You know what I mean? So for every milestone and every month, you put a coin value of the money that is expected. For instance, each client, you can write a check of how much a client paid you. You're projected. Now you tell yourself, so I'm selling my template and coaching product for this amount, and I need this number of clients equals to, you write their total amount of money that should make you. Right? Now, anytime you hit any of the milestones, celebrate. Yes, because it's not easy. Anytime you hit any of the milestones, celebrate. See, if I had like actual pictures of coins, places and all that, you can go ahead and after now design it and actually put it. Remember, I said that this is like a vision board, but it's something that's easier to do on live stream and we can all follow, right? So celebrate every month you hit your milestone. Go out there and celebrate yourself, right? Give yourself a reward, dinner, spa. Oh my gosh, I'm going for one spa that I watched recently, and I'm like, I need that spa, like total spa, all of the Brazilian wax, everything, sauna bath, all of that. Anyway, I digress. Right. And remember that for why you need to celebrate that every month you hit your target is like you hitting a treasure, hitting your treasure, because you're going to get to the ultimate treasure. Yeah, you're going to get to the ultimate treasure, but on the road to get to the ultimate treasure, there are things to pick in every month. That's the idea. There are things to pick in every month. Okay, now create a rewarding system for yourself every time you hit those milestones. Write down beside the month your reward. So this is normally looking like monopoly. So write the rewards you will give yourself if you hit your January goal, if you hit your your February goal, just like that, and see, make it a big deal. Make it a very big deal. Then again, every week, go back and review. For instance, you're supposed to get 8 clients by January, February, and by week 1, you've gotten 3. Take a review, or you've not gotten anyone. So you know that you have to double your effort, triple your effort, quadruple your effort in the next 3 weeks of the month to hit that target. So reviews are very important. If you miss any milestone, a month came, you didn't even get any client, you didn't onboard anybody. See, remember what we talked about? Don't allow limiting beliefs to tell you it's not for you, you can't make this money, you don't deserve it, blah blah blah. See, all those things talking in your head, cast them away and keep going. Keep going. Yes, mark that month as your lost coin or your lost treasure and double the effort in the next month. See, this will amaze you. I'm telling you what I'm going to do, what I'm already doing. Yeah. Keep adjusting your map. If you miss any milestone, adjust your map. Now, I will also tell you that, okay, I've already said that, get pictures of the milestones, the money you need, the things, your reward. Like if it's a spa or a vacation, get an actual vacation picture. You can do this online as well and paste in that place so that you remind yourself that this is my reward and all of that. When you hit your income goal at the end of the year, you know what to do. Throw a party. Come back here and tell us that this happened. And I'm going to be sharing my own as well with you. Why not? I'm going to be sharing my own with you. Actually, in December, we should come back and do an actual treasure box opening. Open our treasure box like we did it. We did it, and we can share the months that was tough and what we did and how we finally hit it. Does this work for you? Do you know why this works? See, don't play with this exercise. This thing works like jazz because it's like a game and your mind is taking it in as one, as something exciting, as something adventurous and motivating and all that. By tomorrow, I'm going to tell you how to discover product niches and all that that is profitable, that the ones you should maximize. And I told people that I have some revelations, some projections, especially for people in the book industry. A lot of things are going to shock us. I remember some months ago, some years ago, when metaverse was, raving, and I said, this metaverse thing will not take off. It didn't take off, but it might still take off, right? In the near future now. It's closer to taking off now. But in the book industry, things are changing. You want to be here tomorrow, next, every day to hear them. Okay. So, but I needed us to work first on our mind, removing the limiting beliefs, creating a map of what we want to achieve so that our mind will agree with us that we can achieve it. And tomorrow we'll uncover how to identify the profitability within your industry. You want to tell me in the comment section after this stream what industry you're in, what you're selling, what was your one product in this exercise. Let me know in the comment. Let me know in the comment. Please don't hold back from sharing, okay? And yes, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. Was this what your time? Let me know. Or was it just around rubbish, a waste of your time? Whatever. But I'm so excited that you joined. I'm super grateful. I'm happy that we're able to do this together. And I'll see you again tomorrow. All right. Cheers. Bye. Yes, I want to stop streaming.